All right, we're at the home of Mr. and Mrs. Kirk. Beautiful little spot out here in Helotes. And they got a nice house. They built the house about 19 years ago and been here since, and definitely in need of some siding work. So that's what we're here to help them out with. There's vertical sheets on the house now. We're going to be switching to a Cedar Mill Select 8 1/4. We're not doing any fascia or soffit Hardie at this point in time. Our scope of work is going to include some minor repair in a couple spots on the fascia and painting. And then there's one small area of soffit area that we have to repair. But for the most part, we're just painting, sealing with 50-year caulk, and painting all the soffit and fascia and the gutters as well. So that's our scope of work for the soffit and fascia. All sidewall siding areas will become the Hardie Plank Cedar Mill Select. So starting here at the front porch, we have 4 porch columns that we are going to paint. We're not wrapping them in Hardie, the big old cedar posts, but we're going to coat all of those. We are also coating the underside of the porch ceiling. Hopefully you can see that, it's pretty bright out. But coating the underside of the porch ceiling. We got these little guys on each side of the porch, as well as this fascia here. We also have just a small kind of like half gable there on each side of the porch ceiling. Other than that, primarily, let's see if you can see here, primarily we're just looking at soffit fascia on the front of the home, aside from the porch cover, patio cover. We're not doing anything with deck, railing. Anything with that is not included in our scope of work. So we'll go around to the left side here. We originally had a wrapping the garage door frame in our scope of work. We're not doing that. So again, just leaving the existing door frame. Drip edge is all in pretty good shape. They just had a company out to repair some of that, so we're pretty good in there. Now on this side, all these windows will be wrapped in Hardie 1x4. All the siding again is coming off on this big sidewall and gable area. We're tearing off, resheathe the wall with a 7/16 inch OSB, do all of our seam tape, our flashing, Tyvek, and or Typar Deb. When you come out for the pre-construction conference, their son Wayne just did some Hardie and has a sheet, pretty much not a sheet, a full roll, 150-foot roll of Typar. So they wanted to know if we would use that. I told them for warranty reasons, and I didn't have much knowledge on Typar. I told them that you could make that call if you think it's satisfactory and won't hamper any kind of warranty or anything. Then I told them you would make that call and we could go from there. But as of right now, just using our Tyvek until kind of further, I guess, look at that. Now the back side of this garage here, we are doing an overlay. We are not tearing off this back side of the garage. Now coming through here, we got some electricals, foam box here that we'll help pull away and resheathe the walls, install our Tyvek, and then, excuse me, not resheathe, we'll install our Tyvek and our Hardie and then reattach. We do have an area here of some concern. There's been some rotting here. It looks like from a previous gutter. It looks pretty significant, so we may find something behind the wall there. So we'll have to address that kind of as we go. But I imagine just based on the condition of the exterior substrate, we probably have some studs inside this area that are going to need a little attention. And you can see it's extended all the way down here. So once we open that up, that'll give us a better idea of what we're looking at. Again, it's been here for 20 years, 19 years, so we can address that as we go. Now, one thing we talked about on trim, here all the trim on the house is on this horizontal cut. We're going to instead have a vertical cut here just to promote water drainage and you know, just to make sure we don't have any further rot down the road. Coming around to the back, we have a patio cover here. Again, our scope of work, we're not removing gutters, we're just painting gutters and the existing fascia. So all of this will be painted, as well as the underside of the patio, of the porch cover. Same thing up top there. There's already some fascia board replaced. You can tell right up top here. So that's been done. We're just basically going in painting all the soffit and fascia after we seal it with 50-year caulk. Now, one other place underneath this patio cover, basically from this corner right here all the way over to the chimney corner, we're using that substrate. The existing siding is substrate. Tearing off all the trim and then just doing our Tyvek seam tape flashing, and then putting our Hardie on top of that. So those are the only two areas where we're not tearing off. Everything else needs to come off and needs to have some substrate reinstalled to make sure it's done correctly. And again, patio cover, we are doing the fascia paint on here, and that's it, including the gutters. Now the chimney here was already done. Some things about this chimney that weren't done correctly, and we pointed those out. We're not going to do any corrective action on that. Basically, it would require a lot of work and a lot of expense that probably is a little bit more than what they want to look at. But so we are just going to paint this facing of the chimney all the way up. Now on the sides of the chimney, that needs to be done, especially between the patio line and the soffit line. That needs to be done with Hardie plank, including over here. Basically all the way up from down here at the foundation line, all the way up to the soffit line, we need to install the Hardie plank on that side of the chimney. And then we have over here, you can tell just various soft spots. There's been some repair work that's had to have been done over the years. So that'll all be corrected. All the trim on the windows and doors will become Hardie plank 1x4, just as we mentioned before. Up here we have a 1x4 freeze board. Over here we have a 1x2 freeze board up on this side. So that again will all become Hardie plank and will all be a 1x2 freeze board. Coming over here to the right side, a big wall here. Looking at it now, we're probably going to need some sort of scaffolding, I imagine. We probably got a good 16, probably a good close to 28 feet, 29 feet from our ground here to the peak. So we may be doing some scaffolding here. See what you think about that, Deborah. Really anything on this side, same thing, tearing everything off. We will remove and replace those two pair of shutters. It'd be pretty straightforward. And basically this window here, we are replacing that with a Don Young window. Seal failure, it's in pretty bad shape, so we're going to replace that one with Don Young window. Single hung, bronze color, low E argon. That's pretty much it here as far as the siding goes. On the fascia, we have this little area, this little leg here that we need to repair, and we have this little leg here that we need to repair before we paint the fascia. Both of those are pretty rotten, so we'll repair that area. So that's pretty much our scope of work. Again, on the deck and railing here, we're not doing anything. We're not touching that area, but all this siding, again, will be taken off. We'll install our OSB, our Tyvek. We'll do all the C-channel flashing on the bottom run of the boards, and then obviously install our trim and siding. So that's what we're looking at. Again, it's going to look beautiful. We talked about some colors, kind of along the same lines, just more of a lighter color. So it's going to be a really nice change. I think really look nice with this brick. So we're excited to see what the finished product looks like. Mr. and Mrs. Kirk, we really appreciate you guys trusting us with the project and working with us. And we look forward to doing a great job for you. Thanks so much.